Hello, my name is Lauren.
And I'm Kyle.
And we are the coaches at TeamCosmicBodies. And if you just watched our previous video, it's about post-show meals if you are in mid-season and you got more shows coming up. But this one in particular is going to be if this is your last show of the season, you maybe emptied your tank and you are done with the season. You're about to take like a 6-month improvement season, 1 year, or whatever it may be.
3 years.
3 years, whatever it may be. So, so this is your last show. And then, of course, you gotta enjoy yourself. You gotta celebrate. I mean, whether you just became pro, or you won first in your class, or you improved from your last package that you brought previously. So, of course, you can celebrate.
Oh, yeah. So if it's your last show of the season, or maybe you did one show and you're pleased and you just got your feet wet. But yeah, last show of the season, you have, you have no more shows. So fat loss phase is over, right? The phase is over. So now you want to recover and you want to
reverse,
get the calories back up. You want to, it depends how lean you got, right?
Put on muscle.
That is a big question, is how lean you actually got, because I feel like people, like, seriously, if you're a woman, did you get below 12% or 10% or even 8%? If you're male.
Your glutes in?
Glutes in no matter what, glutes and low back in no matter what, if it's a bikini or a man or a woman. And so if you're a man, did you get to 6% or 7% body fat? Did you get lean? Did you get absolutely shredded and have that standard for yourself? So that is a big question on how you want to handle post-show and the recovery. Because let's say you had another 10 pounds to lose, which most of you probably did if it was your first show, or just in general. I see a lot of people who don't show up in shape, but I guess we'll break it up into two different things. What would you do if you were so shredded to the bone and you actually got in shape and you killed it? What would you do?
I would definitely have a post-show meal, and then even like on Sunday, be able to eat some meals, and then maybe get back onto your reverse diet.
Get specific. What would you do?
Get back onto your reverse diet on Monday. So to be specific, after your show, Saturday night, go enjoy yourself. Go have a meal with your family, whatever it may be. What have you been craving? Do you want a burger and fries? Like, what do you want? Do you want, maybe get some froyo afterwards? I mean, I'm just thinking about what I would eat. I'd probably have a steak and some bread, and then I would go out for froyo and whatever. And then, I'd probably have a glass of alcohol too, a margarita or something like that. I'm thinking about what we did in one of those shows. Went to Cooper Steak or Cooper Hawk or whatever. So we had some wine. And then on Sunday, you can still...
But don't go to 5 different places. And then
he always said no.
And you're at the cookie place at 2 a.m. Insomnia Cookies in Miami after having a dinner and dessert and already ate 3,000 calories.
Pick one place, okay?
Yeah, 1 or 2 places for dessert, or just have dessert there, right? Don't go too... Because you're going to wake up bloated and terrible feeling. So I would still have a good meal and get satisfied and get full. But you're going to have many meals ahead of you. The season's over.
Yeah, you're going to have many. So let's think about, you got Saturday night, have a main meal, have a dessert, have a glass of alcohol if that's what you're craving.
This is if you got super shredded.
Yep, and then go to bed that night. I would definitely stock up, have some fish oil and some Advil, and make sure you're drinking a lot of water as well. And then, you're going to wake up in the morning and it's Sunday, and for sure you don't have to get right onto your reverse diet macros. I think the biggest thing to go about is on Sunday is just meals. So try not to snack, because if you're snacking so much, I mean, those are just extra calories adding up, and then you're going to be super full and whatnot. So I think just having a breakfast, a lunch, and a dinner, or even what I did, I would just eat a breakfast and then I would be extremely full because, our stomach shrank, and then a dinner and then a dessert or something like that. So trying to have maybe 3 main meals
Don't snack.
Yeah, just don't snack, because if you're snacking, then all those, like I said, those little calories add up, and then you're just like eating way more.
Yeah, you're lost at that point. Like, how much should I have been eating? Because you've been snacking on Doritos and bullshit. Have like 3 core meals, like an intuitive eating, like a normal person.
Yep.
You know, just 3 main meals. They can all be out, but personally, I wouldn't do that. You're gonna definitely get super bloated. Because now we're talking about having 4 meals and 2 desserts and just like weight. So I don't know. Personally, I would just, keep it kind of clean for one of the meals on Sunday, but then the other 2 can be kind of dirty and fun or whatever.
And maybe you're in a really cool place. Maybe you're in Chicago or something. Maybe you're in New York. Go walk. You know what I mean? Like, go out walking, be active on Sunday. Like, I
guess the idea is to be intuitive about it and not like have to track your macros still, and like, but also you don't want to go too off the bandwagon where you have 10,000 calories. I mean, we have a whole off season ahead of us, so you know, I know you just worked really hard, but it's almost like if you really got shredded, you're in a very vulnerable spot anyway to get bloated, but also to put on body fat. So I just think if you were like out in the wilderness and you were found like starving, they're not going to just plow you with a bunch of Doritos and Oreos and alcohol and bullshit. They're going to hydrate you. They're going to give you some minerals, some salt, electrolytes. They're going to give you a lot of water, make sure you're hydrated, give you some protein, give you some easy digestible foods, some stuff that's not going to upset your stomach, right? They're going to ease your way back into it, or at least that's the smart way, because you'll just be in a lot of shock and gain a ton of weight which isn't bad. We want to gain weight, but...
Yeah, but like, when's the last time you ate out and you had a bunch of salty stuff and a bunch of fat? I mean, it's been a while, and it could hurt your stomach. It could upset you. So just that's just something to be aware about.
You'll get visited by the bloat fairy Monday morning and be up 10, 15 pounds. So
and then honestly, like, I would get right back to your reverse on Monday. Like, seriously, you know, get right back to your reverse. And then I would obviously, I would stick to your reverse macros for at least like 6 to 8 weeks before going out again.
Or just, it depends. So it just depends. I'm not disagreeing with her, but I just think it totally depends. So if you really got shredded, you might want to actually put on some weight initially. I could get into percents, I could get into numbers, but just have that conversation with your coach. Like, so if you got completely diced and shredded, you probably should put on 4 to 6 pounds or 8 pounds initially. Quickly. Yeah, the first couple weeks. But then you do want to slow it down, and basically get to 8 pounds or 10 pounds above stage weight in 6 to 8 weeks or whatever, and just kind of like slowly move up once you get that initial body fat on, because you do want to recover. You do want to start getting rid of some of these side effects you've been having, such as the cravings and low energy and libido and
but don't you want to
hormonal markers. If you're a woman, right, get recovered, so your body, maybe you lost your period during prep, so we want to start. You don't want to stay lean.
But you want to put on a responsible body fat in a good way, with the meals that you counted, with high quality protein, high quality carbs and fats, and staying within your macros. You don't want to put on sloppy weight,
because it's an anabolic time. Like, meaning you can put on body fat. It's an anabolic time. You're in a vulnerable spot. You're very insulin sensitive, so you can put body fat on really quickly. You can also put muscle back on fairly quickly. You can regain some muscle you might have lost. So it's an anabolic time you can take advantage of. Not necessarily to go hard and train super hard, which is a whole nother video. But yeah, I would say, like we talked about, you have a meal post-show, you have 3 square meals on Sunday, and then you get back to your macros on Monday. Yeah. But yeah, you're probably eating 300, 500 calories more, maybe even more than that, depending on how lean you actually were. And we're reducing cardio maybe by half, depending.
Yeah.
So yeah, you don't want to stay lean, which is a whole nother video we can do about if you do stay too lean, because that happens sometimes, people stay lean and then they stay with these symptoms, they stay with these side effects, they have no libido, they're not recovered. And they're reversing and they're like, I'm losing weight and I'm 1 week post show. And it's like you're still losing weight as you reverse because you're doing this really slow reverse where your coach or you give you 5 carbs or 5 fat and 10 carbs, and that's all you get.
You shouldn't go straight back to your low day macros that you were on to get lean. Yeah. You should probably start off on your refeed macros and maybe some higher protein and to stay more satisfied, and then slowly taper up from there. Yeah. I think that's the biggest thing is just starting your reverse on Monday and putting on the body fat, because you have to put on body fat, but let's put it on in a responsible way. Because there's 2 ways. You can put it on a sloppy way, eating out, and put on that fat fairly quickly, and then it's kind of weird, because then it might just like the weight might just like keep going and going and going and going. Yeah. Or you can just be really controlled about it, not eat out for a couple of weeks, like seriously, or if you do, still be really, really good if you are. I know maybe family and friends haven't seen you in a while, so still just be really responsible when you do eat out if you are going to.
Well, when's the next show too? So it's like, how lean did you get? Because if you're super shredded, then you do need to recover and get your hormones back to a normal place and get your body, you need to get to 12 pounds above stage weight eventually, and 15 pounds above stage weight, because that's how you're going to recover and perform well, to put on muscle. You can't stay stage lean and put on more muscle. So, but you might want to keep it tight. You might be a professional and you want to compete in 6 months or a year from now. So you do want to be a little bit tighter. If you're going into a 3-year off season, you have to put on a lot of muscle, then you might be able to get to 12, 15, 20 pounds above stage weight fairly quick. Then hold steady, pull back the reins. And the reason why she's talking about the 6 to 8 weeks, because that can help you kind of get rid of some of these side effects you might be having. The hunger, the cravings, the libido, the sleep, the recovery, all these things within the training and all that, they'll start to get better. So you put on 6-8 pounds, it's been 8 weeks, you're then not as having these cravings anymore, and you feel like you are in a place where you can have an untracked meal once a week and be smart about it. So there's not one size fits all.
And if you do this well, if you do your reverse well, you can actually taper up food fairly quickly, because your metabolism is kind of like rubbed up. So maybe you are eating a lot, but then sometimes you have to pull back the calories back down a little bit. Like I remember I was eating like 2,500 at the end of my season. Like my calories got really high, and it was hard for me to put on the body weight. But then once it finally happened, then I actually had to taper my calories back down to 2,200. Maybe I was eating out a little bit more too, but sometimes you do have to actually bring the calories back down a little bit too.
So yeah, in conclusion,
yep.
How lean did you actually get? When's the next show? Is it in a year from now, 3 years from now? And then how lean did you get? If you didn't get lean enough, then you probably should be even tighter and barely gain weight post-show. If you had 10, 15 pounds to lose, you probably should reverse a little bit slower and not put on that much body fat. If you got shredded, then you need to put on a little bit of body fat to recover and to train hard and to, not be anorexic and be super lean all the time. So how lean did you get? And then when's the next show? And that can kind of, how long is your off season about to be? Right? So you really need to have that talk with your coach or someone who's smart to be like, no, you had 10, 15, you had 20 pounds to lose. You should not be gaining that much weight post-show. You should gain 2 to 5 pounds in the next 6.
And have a good off-season physique.
Yeah, because you will get rid of some of these cravings, some of these side effects within 8 weeks of kind of just eating more and tapering food up, getting rid of cardio. So, play the long game, because everything adds up and you probably will regret it, and the grass is always greener. You feel like you need to eat, your mind's telling you to eat, that's a survival mechanism, a defensive mechanism. But food's not going anywhere, and you have, so it just depends on those questions and just being realistic with yourself and being objective, because a lot of times people just say, F it, I don't care anymore. But it's like, you just worked 6 months to get off 40 pounds.
Yeah, why would you just worked so hard. Yeah, to lose
you gain back 40 pounds.
Because you can gain it like that fairly quickly. So,
it's hard to find that balance. And you might make mistakes. You will. Especially if it's your first time, you want to learn from them. So it's good to have coaches to help you with post-show. Shoot, I've had people barely being able to afford it at the end, and they say, hey, I can't afford your post-show, and I say, oh, I'm going to help you anyway. Right.
And I guess it just matters like how your coach and how you went about your prep. I mean, usually I see people putting on a lot of weight post-shows when they do like a strict meal plan, and they were just like eating the same thing for 14, 15 weeks, whatever, straight, and they lost a lot of weight. And then, they're in a really messed up place post-show, and they don't count. They go off their meal plan, and they just go off, and they just eat for 2, 3, 4 weeks straight, and then they look at themselves, and they're up 40 pounds, and then they are miserable. So that's why we like flexible dieting and stuff, and then even like reversing into a show helps a lot too. I guess it matters about who's coaching you and their strategy and stuff. But no matter what, get back on track on Monday.
Yeah, I mean, if you like this sport and it's in for the right reasons, the food's not going anywhere. You'll get your cheat meals every now and then, and, be able to progress. And it's a hard pill to swallow to say, oh, I have to stay on track after the show. It's like, the lifestyle doesn't end after the first show.
You're always in prep, guys. It never stops.
It's just getting started, right? But like I said, the grass is always greener. You wait 8 weeks, you put on a little bit of weight, depending on how lean you are, and then these side effects go away. And the grass is always greener, because after you put on all that body fat, like she's been explaining, you go, oh, I don't care anymore about the food. I'm sick of it. I'm pissed at myself. I'm guilty. Now I have to lose it again. So.
Usually by Monday, I'm like, I can't wait to eat my own food again. Like, where's my egg whites? Where's my egg whites and my oatmeal? I miss that. So, So, okay. Hope this helped. Please comment, share with others. Share with other competitors out there.
Let us know if you have any other questions within the post-show, because there are different habits from dieting and losing body fat and certain meals and habits and your thought process. And then there's habits you want to do post-show and in the off-season. So there are different mindsets you need to have. And so that's, that is something to consider too. Okay?
All right. Bye.